So here I am in my study enjoying my nice new mineral display floating shelves that we just finished. So this rock sample of this mineral, and this is copper, all come from my dad. And so I'm building a display shelf, the floating shelf, to display all my samples of rocks and minerals that come from my dad. These are fond memories from every rock shop that we stopped at along the way, on all the vacations, all the things we hated to do when we're young, we have fond memories of today. Here I am ripping a 2x4 into several strips, everything to be 1 inch square, so we can build the inside of our support brackets. So from one plank of 2x6, I got 4 1 inch square rails, and that's a 2x6 right there, 6 foot long. So I'm now ripping the strips that I have that are 1 by 1 square into 7-inch pieces, because the depth of my shelf is going to be 8 inches, and I'm having a half lap for that 1 inch for a total of 8 inches. Now I'm cutting the inside pieces for the half lap that will go for the overlap for the pieces in the inside frame. So we have 5 of these in one direction and 3 in the other. So rather than show you every piece I cut, I'll just show you a couple of them to save some time. So here are my original plans when I created the thoughts of building this floating shelf. So that I drew this green as the inside part that'd be screwed to the wall, and said, all right, I'll build a little inside frame here, one in the center, and another box over here. And then the pink part was the outside skeleton that'd be covered in plywood, and I would have these as supports in here. So I designed each of the connecting between the outside shell and inside be connected with half laps going into here, and then the green part bolted to the wall would have half laps supporting the pink skeleton and the inside. So a modification that I made here was I omitted this extra little frame and the green leg by itself. So we just have the half lap here, the 2 pieces there and the one on the end, and those make up the outside frame, which again is covered in plywood. Okay, so my frame I have dry fitted, I've glued overnight, and let this frame here. So what I have today is frame comes together. I don't quite have this deep enough for this to sit flush to this, because remember, this is going to have plywood frame on top of it, so I need to come back and recut those a little bit. Okay, now for the internal brackets, what we're going to do is glue and screw in with pocket hole screws these 2 inside loops, and the outside will rest on top of this half lap right here. So let's get to work. Okay, so here's the skeleton as we put it together. So let's show you what it looks like when we disassemble it. So this part here is going to be our frame with the plywood on it, and the other part here will be the part that we mount on the wall. Now let's put the skin on. So now we have our frame built and our outside plywood covering. I'm going to do a dry fit in the garage before I go into my study to install this. So let's put this up here and see how it fits. I marked the studs on the wall. Nicely in. On the edging on that. So let's see what we can do with this. So our half lap here should be underneath the support there. Lap should fit right there. Oh baby. So we have an issue here with the half lap where I can't see trying to fit here. So we can get the ends in. That fits. Fits, but we don't quite seem to have this fitting just. Okay, so what I'm going to do is mark where these half laps are. Okay, so I got my second shelf. I made the two top and bottom panels. I'm going for the edge strip. So this is kind of a precise cut. It's got to be just exactly right, and you got to rip it 6 feet long. It's a challenge. This is 1 3/8 inch, and I cut one 1 1/4, and I cut one with a bevel on the wrong side. I was down to probably my last 2 tries, and I finally got it right. So we'll just sand it, glue it, nail it, and it should be good to go. So here's the pocket shelf. We've got here, and you've got the holes in here, and here's our internal. This part bolts on the wall first, and then we slide our pocket shelf right on top of that. So it'll look something like that. So here's one over here on the wall that we've got painted, and it was pretty easy to paint because we had our shelf partially put on. So we have ease of painting with that resting up there. And we'll take that down when it's dry, and we'll be ready to install it. So this is the inside bracket that mounts on the wall. I pre-started my screws so I can just put one in, be able to get it level, and start the second and tighten up the third and fourth. Okay, now I have it nice and level across the top. Now let's see if we can get it to fit. Little tape holders, which we'll cut off after we install it. Here we are, another finished project, floating shelves. I have my minerals displayed that my dad had given me over the years from all the vacations we had gone on. A lot of fond memories. So if you enjoyed this build on floating shelves, be sure and give us a thumbs up. Be sure and subscribe down below, and come back and see us real soon.